the settlers are moving out from the East Coast and are literally staking claims. They can't own the land, but they're staking claims. They're putting stakes in the ground to indicate where they want to farm, where they want to live. Since there was no surveyed land yet, since there was no titles or description to real estate, these committees evolved over time that would resolve these disputes about land. And of course, timberland was very important to the people that were settling there because the wood was used for building their homes, their fences, for the fuel to cook their food. And there's a really interesting story. We had two gentlemen who were both claiming the same 80-acre parcel of timber. And so these committees evolved over time that would resolve these disputes about land. And these two guys both claimed that they should have the rights to possess and use that timber on that 80 acres. So they all went out to the parcel, and it was in the dead of winter, so it was really cold, and they decided, let's build a bonfire so we can all stay warm. And everybody picks up a piece of wood and sits down, and as they're about ready to start their proceedings, the referees said, you know, before we get started, we think you two guys that are a part of this dispute ought to provide the jug of whiskey. So a jug of whiskey was provided. Goes around the circle a couple of times before they start hearing the evidence. The evidence is heard. The referees get up. They talk a little bit about what they've heard, and soon they come back and they announce that neither of the gentlemen who made a claim were going to get that 80 acres. Instead, there was another gentleman who wasn't even a part of the proceedings, but he was a good man who had a prairie claim. And both of these other guys had a lot of other claimed land with timber on it. And they decided that that 80 acres should go to that good man because he didn't have any timber. Everyone agreed to it, even the two guys in dispute, and they all sat down, passed the jug of whiskey around one more time, and obviously there's no appeals at that point because there's no courts to appeal it to, so they all lived with it. At that point in time, it had to be all about us. And so I think that was kind of the wisdom of what these referees did. They made a community decision as opposed to which one of the two of you is going to get richer.